Hi everyone, and welcome to week 2 of handling show tips and tricks. Or should that be show handling tips and tricks? Okay, so this last weekend we did some videos for you. Now the videos are focused on ways to train your dog. It's not essentially what you should do in the show ring, but how to train your dog. So before we get into that, I thought I would start today with this week's 5 tips and tricks for showing and training your dog. So I've got my list as usual on the side here. So the first thing is, don't forget no loose dangly leads. So when you're in the ring and you've got your lead and you've got the bit excess dangling down, just quickly roll it and put it in your hand. Don't spend your time doing to get it neat in there, just shove it in, because otherwise it's just extra time that you lose in the ring. The second thing is, make sure your bait is accessible. Don't have it in a plastic bag, in your pocket, in a deep pocket. Because you just rattle around trying to find the bait, and by the time you get it, it's over. In a lot of cases, all you've got to do is put your hand in your pocket and the dog will actually look and pull up more than if you just bring the bait out and start wafting in front of them. So it's the noise or the crinkle often that gets their attention, or the fact and anticipation of you putting your hand in your pocket that actually makes them look and pull up. The third thing is, when you're coming back to the judge, don't run smack bang on top of the judge. Always make sure you stop at least 1.5 meters away from the judge. Also, when you stop and you're coming towards the judge, slightly swing over so that when you pull the dog on a slight angle in front of the judge, so rather than have the dog flat onto the judge or side on, angle your dog so it's slightly on an angle. The judge then gets to see the head and the expression and the body, the front and the hind quarter all in one look. So just make sure that you stop about that 1.5 meters away. So rather than, I'll just go my phone, so rather than you stopping in front of the judge like this, the judge gets to see the whole dog. So make sure that's about 1.5 meters away from the judge. The next thing is, don't use your lead to swing a dog around a corner. If you're going to do something, don't take off and yank the lead. Use your bait, your voice, and everything that you do to get that dog's attention so it wants to come around. So if you're in a corner, grab the bait, swing them around with the bait. The lead should always be loose. The only time you pull that lead is a little quick jerk like this to get a message through. Never drag your dog with the lead. And the last thing, which is related to that, if you've got a dog that doesn't want to show, it doesn't want to run, or a puppy or anything like that, again, don't drag it. Just little quick jerks, throw the bait like Hansel and Gretel, let them chase after it, let them have fun. Your best way to train a puppy to move on the lead is not at home. Mine have a collar on at home from basically the day they stand, as long as I'm there at most of the time. And then when they can go off the property and things like that, once they're about 8 weeks, I'll take them to the low tide mark on the beach or something like that with a little collar on and a little lead, and I'll just go where they want to go. Or take them to a show once they're fully vaccinated, and I do it then. Because there's so much other things happening around them to focus them that they kind of forget that they're on a lead. But just go with them, and eventually, once they know it's their idea, they'll actually go for you. The more you fight them, the more they fight back. So turn it into their idea. So those are our tips and tricks for the week. I'll now play the videos, or put the videos on. Thanks to my wonderful assistant Donna, who did the movements for me after several takes because I'm really fussy. Firstly, we're going to show you a video of how most people do a triangle. And the thing we find is that when you do a triangle, a lot of times you're heading out this way, but your dog's going off that way because it knows, because it's smarter than you, that you're going to go there next. So what you've got to do is try and find techniques to stop that happening. And with these loop-de-loops, I call them, so we do loops in all our corners. And I know we're all conditioned that on an out and back, you go around the dog, so you don't get between the dog and judge. But when I do my loops and all my training, my dog learns I'm going to that corner and I'm going to loop around. Then I'm going to go to that corner and I'm going to loop around. When I come back to the judge, I'm going to loop around, because then they don't think that you're going over there. There's going to be something happening in this corner. So do those loops every time in the corners and all the training. Sometimes I don't stop at the end of the triangle. I'll actually stop and do another bit of a triangle so that it becomes a game and it becomes a bit of fun. What you can do is as you get to the triangle, get to the top corner, just bend down, put a little bit of bait, bring them around and just treat them for being there once they've turned around. Think of the obedience people when they twist and turn and the dog's right there beside them. On the out and back, I don't go around my dog. I pay my money for my judge to see my dog at its best. And if my dog moves well, I want to go straight down. I want to keep that movement going by taking the dog around me. Don't break the movement. Take it around you, keep it going like lunging a horse and come back to your judge without breaking that movement. If you do the teardrop shape, as I call it, halfway up you're starting to angle your dog. And when you're coming back, halfway back, the legs are doing this because it's trying to get around the corner. The same thing happens in the triangle if you don't do the loops and get in the corners. When I'm actually showing my dog, I still do that last loop because once I get to this first corner and I turn and I head and I go all the way into that corner, I make the most of my side profile gait. Then when I get to that corner, I stop. I take the dog around me, we both gather our legs, my dog straight onto the judge, and we head straight back to the judge. So as I do that final turn in the triangle, or that final turn in and out and back, my eyes go directly at that judge, and I line my dog's legs up with that judge, and I head straight back to that judge with my dog's legs in front of them. Not mine, not judging my legs, which is just as well. So when I get back to the judge, I stop about 1.5 meters away, swing my dog around, and I bait my dog on an angle. Then the judge gets to see the entire dog. So we'll go to the videos now. And if you've got any questions at all, ask below. But we'll show you a normal triangle and then the difference of how much exposure your dog gets with the judge in a triangle doing the loops. If it's a wet day, it's really good just to get into that corner, stop, take the dog around you. Go to that corner, stop, take the dog around you and come back. Because if it's wet, if you start doing corners, that's when you're going to damage yourself and the dog's leg's going to keep going. So just get in that corner, just take control of things, stop, position yourself to go straight into that corner. So there's all sorts of things that you can do that. Also doing out and back training, I also encourage you to do that on both sides. So go out on the left, change and bring the dog back on the right. Go out on the right, change, bring the dog back on the left and make a game of it. And when you're doing that, make sure you do it at the speed that the dog shows at. All right? So if your dog has walked in the ring, you do it at a walk. If your dog has run, do it as a run. Don't do circles in your training. Do these triangles, do these out and backs on different sides. That way you stop the chance of your dog anticipating what you want it to do, and instead of going all the way around the ring, you're doing that, but the dog's in this little wee tiny circle in the middle. Or you're going to the triangle that way, but your dog's going up, especially bitches. Bitches are terrible for it. They anticipate everything. So you're heading out here, but they're going that way. So what does the judge see? Is these hindquarters doing this. So please, please, when you are practicing and you're doing all your practicing at home, triangles, out and backs, loop everything and make it fun when you get to that corner. If it's a big dog, I give them a little slap on the bum when you come around, say, good boy, let's go, or on the chest. If it's a little dog, you take a little bit of bait around, whatever it takes, the ball, throw the ball into the corner, let them go to get the ball. Make it fun, make it challenging for them, just make it such that they understand where they've got to go and what they've got to do. At the same time, talk to them. Tell them how good they are. Get them up, let them enjoy it, and you have a bit of fun. So here we go to the videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next week. Bye. Right, triangle please. You see there, she's missed a whole corner out over there. And she's turning, the dog's turning, and it's gone past me, and she's going to finish it. There. Right, triangle please. Take the dog around you, get it with you. Right, now what you do is go all the way into the corner for training. Then take the dog around you on the corner. Don't swing it around, use the bait to turn it around. So you're not actually getting the dog to anticipate going into the corner and not enjoying being swung around. Corner there as well. Coming back, see how the dog hasn't taken your eye off it. Then swing the dog around again. and stack up in front of the judge. Now take the dog around you again and just repeat that process. So you go all the way into the corner. So you make the corner, you get all the way into that corner. And then all the way into the other corner. The dog's anticipating you, looking at it and coming round. And then come all the way back to the judge. So, and turn the dog in. And do your stack. Right, thank you, straight down and back. So I'm the judge here, and she's going down there. At the top, she's going to go around the dog, and then you can see the dog's kind of legs are still swinging around, and then it's just straight about there. All right, thank you, straight down and back. Dog around in front of the judge, straight down. The dog's in front of me. Turns, and as she turns, she looks to me, the judge, and brings the dog's legs straight back to me. And then free stack back.